Howdy folks, my name is Alex, otherwise known as For the Z, and welcome to episode 48 of the Turner's Digest. As always, we'll start with a disclaimer. I'm not a financial or tax advisor. This is not financial or tax advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, but please enjoy. As always, you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Turner Digest. You can start there for as little as $1. We also have a Discord, which has its own Discord tier on the Patreon. Speaking of the Discord, we'll do some shout-outs. Shout out to Kung Fuer, Cleed, and Dion. And now we have an additional member of the Cleed tier, Erica. Thank you very much, Erica. Thank you to all four of you for your huge support. It means the world. And welcome to some new members of the Patreon. We have Rob, Kells, Dan, RJ, Jessica, Robert, and Stefan. So thank you very much to all of you. The Discord's growing strong. It's getting a little more active. It's not super active. I'll be pretty blatant. We probably get, a few messages a day, some more intimate discussions. People like to do some prodding in there, share some data points, get some ideas. If you think that would be interesting, give it a shot, take a look, and give it a chance. See if you like it. The intro music was by my brother's band, Sweaty Lemon. Information in the show notes. You can always find all information that I discuss in the show notes. I do have a correction from last episode. The U.S. Bank credit card gets you access to bank products. You don't need to be within their footprint. I think I said before that you have to be within U.S. Bank's footprint to get their banking products, but you can just open up their credit card and that'll get you in the door with them, and then you can just open up their banking products. You don't have to do anything extra or special. It's been a while since I did a normal episode. The last episode we had was a topic episode on Churning for Dummies, which seemed like it did pretty well. So thanks to all that listened. Thank you to new members or new listeners if you're new to the show. You can always reach out to me on Reddit, Discord, Patreon, email, turnersdigest@gmail.com, comments on the blog posts. However you want to reach out, happy to chat. And I mentioned that it's been a while since we did a regular episode because some of this might seem like quote unquote old news, just because some of these are from, let's see, when one of these Dr. Credit posts are from like early August. So, it's still relevant. It's just not as recent as most episodes are. So, the positive of that is this will probably be a longer episode. We have a bunch to cover here. So without further ado, we'll jump right in. I wanted to share that in the past, I've talked about Robinhood Gold, and I've talked about how the Robinhood Gold is targeted for how much you pay for Robinhood Gold. Some people are targeted with $50 for the year. Some people are targeted for $5 per month. Some people are targeted at $60 per year. Some people are targeted at $6.99 per month. I was someone who was targeted with the latter, so my subscription to Robinhood Gold was $6.99 a month. In early August, I was going through and looking at my Robinhood and noticed that my fee changed. And I was confused by that because I saw a $5 fee and I was like, wait, did my Robinhood Gold charge change? And I attached some screenshots in the show notes. But yeah, my Robinhood Gold was $6.99 a month back in July 5th. And then on August 4th, I was only charged $5. And looking at my membership, it's showing as monthly at $5 a month instead of monthly at $6.99 per month. I wasn't given a notice about this. I wasn't told about the change. I was just started paying less. I did receive an email around that time, maybe a little bit earlier, like maybe towards the end of July, that indicated some changes were coming to Robinhood Gold. It specifically said what is included with Gold has changed. But I didn't really see anything new in there. I went through and read the terms and didn't see anything that had changed. Like they don't do like a change log. They just give you new terms. So I just have to kind of read through it and see if I noticed anything that was different, like something that jumped out off the page at me, but nothing really did. And they didn't mention a fee change or anything. Their terms still state that Robinhood Gold has a varying charge. It can be up to $6.99 per month. So maybe they just saw my usage of Robinhood and determined that I am eligible for a lower monthly fee. It's odd they didn't tell me that, but hey, I won't complain. I plan on having Robinhood Gold for years. So looking at doing some math here, the price change of basically $2 less over 2 years will amount to $48. So I'll take the savings. Why not? All right, moving on. Upgrade announced that they have a new credit card being offered. And this is specifically called out to me by Cleed. So shout out to Cleed. Because I don't even see the card on Upgrade's landing page. So like Upgrade has a upgrade.com/upgrade-card site that lists their cards. But in here it doesn't list the new card. But if you navigate directly to upgrade.com/upgrade-card/my-5-3-0/categories, you're able to see this new card and the categories that come with it. So this card offers 5% cash back in a category of your choice with $3,000 in spend per quarter on your category. Your categories can be dining, which is default if you don't choose anything, groceries. This next one's one, TV, internet, and streaming services. And this next one's also one, gas and EV charging stations. This next one's also one, travel, including hotels and airlines with no portal needed. And then we have cell phone providers, pet care and stores, home utilities, and drugstores. So really some interesting offerings. 5% on home utilities is offered elsewhere. 5% on pet care and stores. I don't know of another card that offers that. 5% on cell phone providers. I also don't think I know one that offers that. I mean, Bank of America's online shopping, if you have status with them, can go up to 5.25%, and it covers anything for online shopping, which can be cell phone providers. Gas and EV stations, that's coming harder to come by. I know. I think the AAA card does offer that. TV, internet, and streaming services, again, Bank of America. Groceries are 5%. You can use Citi's custom cash as well as dining. And drugstores also works for that, I believe. Same thing with the Bank of America card. Customized cash can be set at the drugstores. If you have the match, you can get up to 5.25%. But travel, including hotels and airlines with no portal needed, is pretty great. I mean, it's 5%. You can get it through like Capital One, but you have to use the portal, as well as plenty of other cards that require to use their portal. But this is just raw travel, hotels, and airlines without a portal, so that's kind of nice. There are caveats with this card, though. Reading through some of the terms, your accrued cashback will generally be applied to your Upgrade card balance after your next scheduled monthly payment at a time and manner determined by Upgrade's sole discretion. Nice. So this is a line of credit, like a personal loan of sorts. Any charges that put on the card will instantly accrue interest, but there is a carve out that they specify. They say your card offers an early repayment option to avoid interest. After your first statement period, interest will generally accrue daily from daily transaction occurrences. With early pay, you can choose to pay off your statement balance in full 2 days after your statement and any carryover balance from one statement to the period to the next. All balances will accrue interest for the next statement start period. You can pay off your line at any time to eliminate further daily interests. So if you just go in and pay your balance 2 days after your statement is generated, then you won't accrue any interest. I'm not sure if that's an option with like auto pay though. So I'd want to hear more about that. There's also a $200 bonus on the card when you make 3 debit transactions. So you have to have the debit account in association with it and open up this card. And it also specifically says that you have to qualify the welcome bonus, you must open and fund a new Rewards Checking Plus account. So if you have one existing, then it wouldn't count. There's Dr. Credit post on this. You'll see coming up here, there's another new 5% cashback option for most of these categories that makes this card kind of a nothing burger. But I figured I'd call it out. It's always nice to see these new cards. There's a new card image for it that I'd love to get. I don't think anybody will have it. I could have tried to see if I could have product changed my Upgrade card to this one. I don't know if they offer product changes, but Upgrade decided to terminate all my accounts, so I won't have the option to do that. Also in Upgrade world, they lowered their interest in their savings account from 5.21% to 5.01%. I mean, it's more in line with other offerings, like Wealthfront offers that, but they're kind of a checking account. I think like T-bills, short-term T-bills are still above 5%, so it's a little bit lower than your best in the market, but it's still pretty great at 5%. Next was something that I did, and I figured I'd share. I shared it on the Discord, but I'll share it here as well. The Pixel 9 came out from Google. I'm a Pixel owner. I just prefer Android. I do have an iPhone as personal phone or as a work phone, and I don't like it. I don't like using the iPhone. I'm just used to Android. I used to be a huge Apple fanboy, and then I converted to Android and never looked back. Well, technically I have looked back pretty frequently every time I use my work phone, and that's for my day job, not this podcast. But I have a tendency to want to upgrade to the latest and greatest all the time, and I really want to get a flip phone, honestly, like a Samsung Galaxy Z Flip or like the Motorola Razr or some other offerings that are coming out similar. I don't want the foldable, like the large format foldable, I like the flip formats, and I was hoping Google would announce one. I don't like any software other than Pixels. I hate Samsung's UI. I hate their flow and the way their phones, specifically the software, I just don't like it. I just prefer the way Google does it. So when the Pixel 9 Pro came out, I was like, oh, let me take a look and see what they're offering. Because normally, I think last year I did a trade-in as well that amounted to me either getting the phone for free or next to nothing. And this year is also very similar. So the Pixel 9 Pro at $256. I have a Pixel 8 Pro at $256. The Pixel 9 Pro at $256 is at $1,100. There's a few options for getting a trade-in or a credit back for the phones. So Best Buy is offering a trade-in, or at least was. I'm not sure if this is still available. They're offering a trade-in for an iPhone 12 Pro, specifically a 12 Pro, that is selling for like $390 on Swappa, but they're offering $1,000 for trade-in for that. So you can buy it off of Swappa and then trade it in. And then I can take my current Pixel 8 Pro and sell it on Swappa, which is going for around $400. On top of that, if you buy the Pixel 9 Pro on Best Buy, you get a $200 store credit. So with all that together, it would net me $50 to go through all these hoops. Buy the iPhone 12 Pro on Swappa, trade it into Best Buy, then sell my Pixel 8 Pro privately on Swappa, would net me $50 with the $200 store credit from Best Buy. I was going to go through that, but I miscalculated this other offer that's available. So the Google Store is offering a trade-in value for the Pixel 9 Pro of for the Pixel 8 Pro when buying a Pixel 9 Pro for $700, which is way more than the $400 that Swappa is currently the going rate for the phone is. So if I buy the phone on Google, it's $1,160 minus the $700 trade-in for the Pixel 8 Pro. In addition, there is a educational discount that the Google Store does, which I believe is 10% off. And I still have some alumni email addresses at work for the educational discounts. So that knocks off $110. And then by buying the phone, you get a $200 Google Store credit. In addition to that, I'm a Google One 2 terabyte member, which gets me 10% off of the Google Store and Google Store credits on purchases. So that amounts to an additional $98.91 in credit. On top of that, I can use a shopping portal on the Google Store with Rakuten, which would get me $20. So after all that, my out-of-pocket cost would be $33. So the difference between the Best Buy offering and the Google Store offering is $84. That's the difference in value. I'd be paying an additional $84 by going with Google, or I would be getting $84 less than the Best Buy offer, and I would be spending $33 on Google instead of getting $51 from Best Buy. This doesn't account for cash back that I'd be spending, so the raw spend at Best Buy would be higher. I'd be buying the new iPhone and be buying the new Pixel at full price. Google, I'm spending probably, I think like maybe $800, but then they have to refund part of that for the trade-in value. So I just didn't want to go through having to go through Swappa, buy an iPhone, trade it in with Best Buy. There's an unknown there and some friction. Then I have to sell my phone on Swappa and ship it and pay their fees, which would net me a little bit less than the money I'm quoting here. So I decided to go to less friction with Google. Got the phone. I'll wind up only spending about $30. I am tied up with $300 Google Store credit, but Christmas is coming up, and I want to buy a case for the phone anywhere, so there's $60. I'll probably buy like a Nest product and give it to a family member or a friend for Christmas. So I was pretty happy with that, getting a new phone for $30 out of pocket is you can't get better than that. So I'm happy. And honestly, I haven't been it's crazy that I'm buying a new Pixel because I wasn't too happy with it. It's got some weird caveats that I haven't been liking. I can't really articulate them at the moment, but the phone overheats often, so I'm hoping the new processor does a better job of keeping the phone cool. Some weird UI stuff that I've experiencing, but I'm hoping that they just get ironed out eventually. Next, we have some new card designs from Capital One. So there's a hat tip that I want to call out here. Let's see if I can get the name. I specifically found it in the Doctor of Credit Contact Us page from user GZ there. It looks like Capital One refers to Quicksilver designs. And Dr. Credit wound up making a dedicated post for this. They said, over the next few months, Capital One's planning to redesign all their credit cards. This is a cosmetic change with cards going for a more simplified look to the new Capital One Quicksilver card design. So specifically, the Quicksilver one was the first one that was like kind of launched as a redesign. Dr. Credit goes on to say that my suspicion is that they will be done alongside the new cards launching and increased sign-up bonuses. This could be done independently, or this could be done independently of each other. And looking at their site, the redesign looks like it's only live for that Quicksilver card as well as the flavors of the Quicksilver card, but it definitely aligns more with their newer cards. So the Venture X Rewards, that is a similar just like gradient of a color, which is similar to the Quicksilver Rewards one, which is more of like a blue than a silver, but I kind of get what they're getting at with the silver. It also ties in well with their Spark Cash offerings and their Spark Cash Plus card, which is like a gradient green. The Spark 1% Classic is also like a gradient gold. The regular Spark Miles as well. Even the BJ's 1 card, which is their BJ's offering, is like a gradient gray, and the BJ's 1 Plus is like a gradient. The BJ's 1 card is like a gradient red, and then the 1 Plus is like a black gray gradient. I personally don't like this. I find that if you go to my card design page, which has every card design I can think of, I try and get all of them that I can on there. I like cards that have some flavor to it, some style, some uniqueness. Like some of my favorite ones have like some cool geometric designs on the card, or I think my favorite one that always comes to mind is the Oxygen Fire debit card, which was in person. It was really nice card. I think they charged like a $250 annual fee for that, and they upped it to like $400, and then Oxygen shut down. But the card was really striking. It had like an iridescent flame that was on it. Part of it is from it just being metal, but the design was very eye-catching. And these new cards from Capital One are just super blasé. Like it's just a color with a gradient. Maybe some cost-cutting measures. Just they're all kind of the same look. I get they're trying to uniform it, but like I'm not a fan. Like the Saber one's kind of cool. I think the Platinum card is probably one of my favorites of theirs. Like it has this cool little wave design on it. I haven't seen it in person, but it looks kind of striking. But it's always sad to see the unique characteristics of designs going to the wayside. I mean, no one really cares, if we're being quite honest, but that's my take on the matter if anyone cared. All right, let's find my tab. Next, Dr. Credit reported that Dash Pass is now offering free HBO Max with paid annual subscriptions. So if you have a paid annual Dash Pass account on DoorDash, then it comes with HBO ad-free for free. Dr. Credit says that DoorDash is offering the annual Dash Pass subscriber a free HBO Max subscription with ads, which costs $100 per year. Dash Pass annual subscribers who want the ad-free HBO Max can upgrade for $11 a month instead of the regular $16.99 per month. Dash Pass is $96 per year. So if you're already buying HBO, then this will save you $100. So actually paying for Dash Pass annually is $96 a year is cheaper than buying HBO Max with ads on its own. That's $100 a year. So no one should ever be buying HBO Max with ads since it's $100, which is $4 more than getting Dash Pass and HBO Max with ads at $96. But who the hell is going to think of, I want HBO Max, let me buy Dash Pass. No, that no one's going to think of that. So it just seems like a positive for HBO and a positive for Dash Pass members. I mean, if you pay for HBO Max, get Dash Pass, cancel your HBO subscription. If you have HBO subscription, if you have Dash Pass, then now you get HBO for free. Nice little benefit. This is only for paid annual subscription. So if you have like a benefit through one of your cards, you're not eligible. It has to be specifically just a normal paid annual subscription. Cool. Moving on. Some users on Reddit as well as Dr. Credit reported that there's some targeted Apple card sign-up bonuses. So there's a $150 targeted bonus, but there's also some $300 targeted bonuses going out. And some of them are in and out. I know some of them have ended. Some of them started up again. So there's some instructions from Dr. Credit to see how to get your offer or how to see if you're targeted. It's in your email. It should say something there. It's not totally clear how to get targeted, but the sign-up bonus, the $300 one at least, is the highest they've offered. And it's specifically, you get $300 when you spend $1,500 in your first 60 days. There are some new sign-up bonuses going out as well that like require consistent spend monthly. Like there's a $200 one that gets you $10 every month when you make 10 plus transactions through June of 2025, which is kind of crazy. I don't think I'd go for that, like $10, unless you can, actually maybe I would. We'll discuss it a little bit, but I do something similar where I make 12 transactions in a month to get $10 every month. And that's ending, which I'm very sad about. And you'll hear a rant in a little bit. But it is a 524 slot. I wound up opening the card. I really just wanted it for the actual physical card itself because I'm kind of a card collector. But when I opened the card, I got, where the heck is it? That was with my Goldman Sachs. I got $225 for the sign-up bonus when it was only $75. My sign-up bonus somehow triple dipped. I really don't know what happened. So, I mean, I kind of do. I think I've detailed this before, but I opened the card. I added the card to Curve, which when you add cards to the Curve, Rip Curve, and we'll talk about Curve in a little bit here too, but you get a $75 when you make a purchase, when you make your first purchase, and then you get an additional $75 when you made a purchase at Ace Hardware. So my initial sign-up bonus, so it didn't triple dip, it double dipped. The initial bonus was spend anything in the card and get $75. I decided for my first charge to be me to add the card to Curve. I forgot that adding a card to Curve puts a transaction on the card to be a temporary transaction, so you can get like a unique code and then put it into Curve to say, hey, I have access to the card. I'm able to see the transactions. Allow me to use the card within Curve. When you do that, it refunds that transaction. Apple has set it up in their system to where if you make a purchase, your first purchase triggers the sign-up bonus. So when I made that Curve transaction, I immediately got the $75 sign-up bonus. But then since that transaction later refunded, they have it in their system to refund the sign-up bonus. So I was like, oh, snap. I didn't realize that was going to happen. I contacted support, and they were like, oh, no problem. We'll manually credit you the $75. I was like, bet, cool. A week later, I had made an additional purchase on the card after the Curve transaction, since I had this $75 for free at Ace. Spend 75, get 75 credit. I went to Ace and spent like $76. I got the $75 credit from that. When that transaction went through, I got an additional $75 for the original sign-up bonus since it was refunded. So the system would have handled it for me, but customer service decided to manually go in and credit it for me. So I got the $75 from my actual sign-up bonus, the $75 from the Ace hardware purchase, and then the manually credited $75 from customer service, amounting to $225 total. That's a one-off though. So if you can get a sign-up bonus that's $200 or more, that would be great for the Apple Card. Now you have this cool metal card that sounds like a license plate clanking the table when you use it. Even though it's a pretty trash card and it won't really be used for anything, but I mean, if you're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, they'll kind of approve anybody. And if you're not used to credit cards, I don't know why you'd be listening to this podcast, but their UI is super easy to understand and it makes it kind of fun to use. And they have occasional boosts on there, so give it a shot if you're interested. What is this? Nope, next. Next, we have Dr. Credit reports that the Citi Advantage Platinum Select World Elite MasterCard has an increased sign-up bonus to 75,000 miles. If you have use for American Airlines credits, American Airlines miles, go for it. There's an annual fee for the card, and it is waived for the first year, and you get some additional benefits if you spend like $20,000 in the year. The sign-up bonus is earn 75,000 American Airlines miles after $3,500 in spend for the first 4 months. 4 months is nice that you have a little bit extra time. It is Citi, so keep in mind best things to know when applying for a Citi card. Next, I shared last episode that Ally has their publicly available referral, but I was able to find my referral link. So if you're interested, it's $100 for you and $50 for me. All you have to do is set up your account and start a qualifying monthly automated recurring transfer within 30 days of account opening. Complete at least 3 back-to-back months of these automatic recurring transfers, and your $100 welcome bonus will be posted within 30 days of receiving your third recurring transfer. If you don't have an Ally account, I'd be pretty surprised at this point. They're a great hub account. Transfers are super quick. Their limits are super high. Linking accounts there is pretty easy. I keep reaching my account maximum for linked accounts because I have so many accounts, but I can just delete them and make more room. I think you can reach out to support and increase that, but I haven't bothered. Next, there is a targeted Robinhood Gold deposit bonus. I don't know where my tab for this went, so let me open it up. Drag this over. I close this window. Yes. So it's a targeted between $100 and $125 for joining Robinhood Gold and depositing $2,000. It'll be showing, I believe, in your app, or you get an email. So people are seeing in their Robinhood alerts a deal that states, get $100 when you join Gold and make a deposit of $2,000 through August 23rd. So this might have expired for some people. The terms are specifically join Robinhood Gold by August 23rd and keep Gold until September 23rd. Your first 30 days are free, and then you pay $5 a month. Deposit $2,000 into your account by August 23rd, and then claim your bonus if you keep your money within the account until September 23rd, and you need to specifically claim your bonus. So you have to go in and claim it, which will be available until October 23rd. I don't think a lot of people were targeted for this. People weren't sure how to get targeted, but I figured I'd call it out. I like Robinhood Gold. I had an analysis back in episode 10 where I discussed my choices for a main checking account. I went through and talked about Robinhood Gold, Wealthfront, Fidelity Bloom, or just Fidelity Cash Management, and H. Bradley. H. Bradley's no longer around. Robinhood's pretty great. I like them a lot as long as you can get over their moral qualms if you would like to, or if those bother you. Just keep that in mind. But if you have this bonus, definitely go for it. It seems pretty easy. The holding period is only like 30 days. So next, something that applied to me and may apply to you. I got an email from HBO that the HBO add-on on my HBO add-on for my Hulu account is increasing its price from $15.99 to $16.99 for the ad-free version. And for that, I decided to kick HBO. Honestly, it was perfect timing because I only really had HBO Max or just Max for House of the Dragon, and that ended, and I was just continuing to pay for Max because I get $20 credit every month from my American Express Platinum for my Hulu subscription, and you can add add-ons to that, and it'll still credit it. So I decided to stop paying for that because why are they charging me more money? It's already ridiculous. It's $17 a month. And my Hulu is just 99 cents a month because I had a Black Friday deal, which is going to expire, I think, in November. So I got to keep my eye out, sign up for another one for that when that comes back around. Normally it comes back around. But in addition to that, I'm also targeted for the Disney Plus add-on with ads for only $2 a month. So I just swapped to that just to get some more free content, even though I don't really use either. But I figured I'd call that out. That's something I did. Next, some users on the Fidelity Investments site, or Fidelity Investments subreddit, which is pretty fantastic. There's the Fidelity members are actually very active in the subreddit, and they reply to posts and comments and tech support and give some information about the products. And someone noted that there's a new design to the Fidelity cash management account coming out for the debit card. And it includes no more embossed, which is nice. And the Fidelity rep also said that there's another change coming out that they can't talk about yet, but that is exciting for the account. And a few days later, Dr. Credit shared, as well as the community member on Reddit shared, that they're removing foreign transaction fees to the card. So it early didn't get foreign ATM fees, but if you actually used the card to swipe somewhere in a foreign country, you'd get a foreign transaction fee. But now that's gone. So there's literally no fees in the card ever. They reimburse ATM fees. I use it all the time. It reimburses very quickly. It earns 5% interest. You can now use it internationally without paying fees. So I recommend it to everybody. I've talked about this so many times. It's still the GOAT. I'll move on from this. But if you don't have it, definitely go for it and get it. It's free. Or wait until they offer their $75 bonus, which they sometimes do. And if you're interested in getting the new card, you will be mailed the new one, but you can just report yours as like damaged and they'll mail you a new one. I'm just going to wait for the new one to come in the mail. Next, I just wanted to call out that I'm still using Albert. Albert is a fintech bank app that offers some good boosts on some merchants. So like Shell, they offer 10% off up to $50 in spend. All of their offers up to $5 in cash back on the offer. So like they have Whole Foods at 25%. Sometimes they have DoorDash at 20%. They have like Lyft at 10%. So all of them are for $5 cash back. And you have to have direct deposit going in there, but you also have to have Genius, which is like a $15 per month subscription. But you're allowed to do Genius trials. So you can sign up for the trial and then cancel before it renews. The only annoyance, I think I talked about this before, is that you can't turn off Genius since your account is empty because they like deactivate your whole account. But I empty my account to zero and then I contact support and ask them to cancel Genius for me. And then they're able to turn off Genius but leave my account open. And then I can just sign up for the free trial again. I found an easy way to empty the account because transferring out of there literally takes like 2 weeks. Like if I push out of the account, it takes 2 weeks for the money to leave, which is so annoying. And I don't want to have to cancel. I don't want to have to initiate the transfer 2 weeks before, not use the card for 2 weeks, 2 weeks before the Genius free trial ends. That is, not use the card for 2 weeks, get the account to zero, ask them to close it, and then reopen the account, put funds in. So I've started just doing debit loads. I specifically do it to my Future card. I use my Future card for a bunch of things, which we'll talk about Future. There's a lot of things coming up in the episode here. A lot of codependencies. But I can debit load into my Future card, and I just drain my Genius card, and then I cancel. So it made it pretty easy. I've started using it less, honestly. It's just such a hassle to get like $5 for these transactions, to have a lot of administration just to get it. So I also don't shop too frequently at the merchants that are in there, like Whole Foods. I don't go to very frequently anymore. I go to Market Basket. Shell, they're not the cheapest in the area, so I don't go there too frequently. Maybe like once a month, because I think on the 20th, they always give you like an extra 10 cents off per gallon. So it makes it a decent deal. Moving on, Doctor of Credit shared that there's a promotion for Clear to get $75 Uber voucher when you sign up. And this is beneficial because if you have an American Express Platinum card, you get Clear for free, but you just purchase it through the site with your Platinum card, then you get the credit back. So if you do that with this bonus, you'll get just a $75 voucher for Uber for free. So if you're planning on signing up, definitely use the promotion. And I don't really like Clear as it is, so I wouldn't recommend it unless it's free. Speaking of Uber, I just wanted to share a little bit on my gift card reasoning. So I've often shared that I've purchased like Uber gift cards at discounts, like usually 20%, which is pretty good, which is like probably the best that it gets, sometimes even more. Like right now, Costco has Uber gift cards at 20% off still. And I buy them, like I keep my account probably at $400, $500. And the obvious use for that is Ubering, like getting a card bring you somewhere. But Uber Eats is a less common one. And Uber Eats seems to just be like throwing money around in promotions. And since Uber owns Postmates now, Uber Cash also works in Postmates, which is nice. So I received a promotion in my Postmates account to spend $25 and receive 50% off up to $20 max. So spend a minimum of $25, get a maximum of $20 off. So your optimal spend would be $40 to get $20 off. It was targeted and only valid for 2 uses, but I also do have Uber One for a few months, which was like a targeted promotion. I got it for free. So I went sometime, if these boost promotions are around, it's always a great deal for me. So I just wanted to break down how exactly it's a good deal, because Uber does upcharge, or restaurants do upcharge sometimes. And I went through and I compared things. So I purchased sushi. And also the promotion for 50% off must be a delivery. So you might think that ruins it, but it really doesn't, especially if you have Uber One. So I purchased a shirashi, a salmon lover, and a miso soup. And that came out to $41.35. And comparing it to the actual price of the store, it was only a $2 upcharge overall. I think the shirashi was an extra $2. So it was $41.35. Fees with it came to $2.39. That's with my Uber One discount. I gave a $1.49 tip, which it's not a great tip, but I don't feel like tipping very well on just getting someone to drive and drop off food at my front door. Tax was $2.89, and there's no delivery fee. So minus the $20 discount got me $28. I got a shirashi, a salmon lover, which came with, I think it was like 8 pieces. It was like 6 nigiri and 2 sashimi, or maybe 4 sashimi, and a miso soup delivered for $28 with the tip, tax, and fees included. And it would have cost at least $40 at the store without delivery and tax, which is great. And then on top of that, I used my Uber gift cards, and that's an additional 20% discount on the $28 that I spent. So I only spent $21, because actually it's more than 20%, because I purchased those 20% gift cards with my Bank of America customized cash reward set to online shopping, which earns 4.5% on those transactions. So I saved $7. So in comparison to what I really could have purchased in the store, if I physically went to the store and spent $40 on the food, I got it delivered to me for $21, which saved me $19, which was 50% off of my dinner, which was pretty fantastic for sushi. I put some screenshots for 2 different orders that I have. I detailed one of them, but I also ordered like some pasta fagioli, a sandwich, and some pizza, which also came out to like 50% off total compared to the in-store purchase. But the totals are pretty great. Like, it shows the service fee would have been $7, the delivery fee would have been 50 cents, the tax was $2.89, the tip was $1.50, minus the $20 promotion, minus the $5 membership benefit, minus the delivery discount, only came out to $28. So pretty great deal. Keep an eye on your notifications. If you don't have Postmates, download it. They seem to be just giving out money, and if you spend 20 minutes to a half hour ordering your food, it's kind of easier than cooking sometimes. All right, enough about that yapping. Next, Dr. Credit shared that Citi files for a trademark for Citi Strata Select, which seems like it would probably rebrand the Citi Rewards Plus to this new Citi Strata Select. So I'll just keep an eye out and see what comes of it. Nothing really has happened just yet, but they filed the trademark, and I know the Citi Strata came out, so maybe Citi Strata Select will come out soon. Next, at the risk of being called just like a pepper podcast, I will talk about pepper deals for a little bit here. So some of these were lightning deals, and most of them, I think all of them, are expired. I haven't really been doing the actual notifications for the pepper deals. I think they're noisy. I have been sharing them on the Discord, though, because it's just easier to quickly post them there. Like, there's deals daily. Like, if you're interested, you should be checking on Dr. Credit, or if enough members of the Patreon that are not in the Discord tier want to have these notifications, I can send them out. Just reach out to me and let me know that you'd be interested. If enough people, I can make a poll on the Patreon, actually, and I can ask and see if people are interested in pepper notifications, but they'd be kind of noisy, and I don't want people to mute things, because then you're going to miss out on actually decent deals. But there was a pepper deal for, I think it was 10% off of Airbnb gift cards, and I went in and purchased $500 more of Airbnb gift cards. I wound up using all the $2,500 that I purchased like a few weeks ago on a trip we just had down to the Jersey Shore, which was nice. Nothing really to share in terms of like a travel episode. I didn't fly anywhere. I just drove down Jersey Shore and kind of beach bummed it for a bit. I was having some issues logging into my Pepper account though, and I won't get my Pepper points, my Peppa Pig points for like another few weeks. So keep in mind if you do go for Pepper deals that you have to consider the chance of you losing the money. And a lot of blog sites are doing some like analysis of, well, how much should you float for Pepper points coming? And I'm not reselling gift cards. It's just my personal purchases. So if I don't ever get the gift cards points, the Peppa Pig points, then okay, whatever. It sucks, but who cares? I still get like 5% back as the raw on the Pepper points, and then I get my cash back rewards as well. So, but on top of that, there was also some deals for 20% off in the form of future pending Peppa Pig points for Google Play gift cards. So I bought $150 in that because my Google One is renewing and I can get 20% off in that. And I also purchase, I have like $1 subscription to Relay for Reddit through Google Play, as well as YouTube Premium through Google Play. So those 20% off will come in handy. But Miles Erneburn also shared that a link to Gift Cards Galore that had a post on why I'm cautious about Pepper app rewards. And like, this is all stuff that I think is should be known already. Like, if you just use kind of common sense, like there's app issues, which is normally, I've had app issues as well. I'm not able to log in, and normally it's like server overloads, but sometimes it's intentional by the apps. Like this is kind of tinfoil hat, but they want less people to go in. So they're just intentionally having errors. So they promote that there's these deals, but you can't really use them. So it just makes you go into the app and want to get in there, even though you can't. But Gift Cards Galore also called out that the app doesn't track what you've earned. So like when you're getting, let's say this Airbnb 10%, it shows 10x on points. But when you make the purchase, it only gives you the base rewards on points, and the later ones are pending. But there's no way of tracking it in the app. There's nothing to say like this one had a bonus, a promotion of this amount. So there's no way for you to audit it within the app. You'll have to track it on your own. I definitely should be doing that, but I'm not because I'm just lazy, and I just hope that Pepper does a good job, or someone else will notice they don't, and I'll be made aware of it. But just keep in mind that these are things that could possibly happen. All in all, don't float more points. Don't float more pending rewards points than you can afford to not receive. Waiting for bonuses are always a risk, especially when there's a janky app like Pepper. You can also charge back if you don't get your Peppa points or Peppa points. So just keep that in mind. This also is reminiscent of, I don't want to get in trouble here for mentioning the name. I was never involved in this, but I've heard like rumors on Reddit, and I can't really find any sources. I remember reading about it a little bit, but I can't find the thread now. But Hard Body Fitness Club LLC, I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, but there was like a credit card reward scheme going on. I think it was, I don't remember the details exactly, so I'm speculating, but it was something along the lines of like Hard Body Fitness Club let you pay for a service through their portal, and you just get cash back or credit card points, and then they just refund you what you spent. It's taboo apparently to talk about it, so I won't go too into it. I really don't know a lot of details about it, but it reminded me of that. Like, just be wary of what you're doing. I'm not saying that I think Pepper app is illegal or anything. Just be aware of if something's too good to be true. It's probably going to end soon, and probably is too good to be true. Moving along, Barclay announced that they're adding a checked bag benefit to their Frontier cards. So Frontier's announced a new benefit to the Barclays Frontier card, with card members now being able to receive 2 checked bags for free. Tickets must be purchased from flyfrontier.com or the Frontier Airlines app. There's no limit to how many times you can use the benefit. Free checked bag benefit includes golf and ski equipment. Primary card members must be Must use a Frontier Airlines World MasterCard at the booking to unlock the free checked bags. It looks like it's not being advertised in the benefits yet on their landing pages, but this is nice to see. I mean, Frontier is a pretty budget airline, so being able to get checked bags for free with their card is very nice. Next, Bilt announced that they're losing Hawaiian as a transfer partner, but they're confident that the Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian merger will be approved, so you'll still be able to be transferring to Alaska. I think Bilt's the only place you can transfer to Alaska, and there wasn't a prior notice to this. It just stopped working, and they shut off the sites. And I think the CEO, I forget what level he is, but Richard Kerr said, as our original 3-year agreement came to a close with Hawaiian Airlines, we were confident, as reported this morning, that the merger with Alaska Airlines would be approved. Given we're the only transfer partner to Alaska and has a 1-to-1 ratio, the ability to book Hawaiian with Bilt points should return shortly. I don't know how sure that's going to be. Mergers take a while, but I guess not really a net loss, but a pending equality soon. Next, American Express announced that they're opening up a lounge in Salt Lake City International Airport as a Century Lounge in 2025. They'll have 600 square feet, and we'll have an outdoor terrace with picturesque mountain views, delicious food with award-winning Resi chef featuring fresh local ingredients, Blue Roast by American Express coffee bar, full bar with bespoke cocktail menu and wine list, and comfortable seating. I've been pretty underwhelmed with Centurion lounges, so not really something I care about, but figured I'd cover. Next, there is another wider report of an app of the Synapse and Evolve banking partner shutdown saga. There was a report on NPR about Prize Pool shutting down, and they talked about the world behind your new banking app, and they discuss like sort of what's happening with Evolve Bank and Trust. So I'd be curious to see. I know I've had some people ask if I can do like a broader coverage on this. So maybe I'll do another Patreon poll to see if people would be interested. Actually, maybe I'll do one in the show notes. I can do polls over there. So if you go to the show notes, I'll toss a poll in there for if you would be interested in a topic episode specifically on covering the whole Juno Evolve Synapse saga. There'd have to be some pretty good interest in it because it would be a lot of research and would take a lot of time for me to actually adequately cover it to a state where I would be satisfied with publishing it and having it as a source of truth. And it would be a lot of reading of FinTech Business Weekly. So I'd probably toss them some more money. And there is a coverage for this happening as well. Prize Pool is also shutting down and being acquired, as reported by Doctor of Credit and covered by FinTech Business Weekly. So take a look at that. But take a look at the show notes if you want to contribute to a poll there. All right. Let's close these. Next, Dr. Credit reported that there is, and I did a lightning deal for this as well, and it was I wasn't fully aware of the terms before I sent out the lightning deal, so apologies if you were negatively impacted by this result, but there is a sign-up bonus for Step, which is like a credit building app bank thing for $200 when you direct deposit, I think $500 within 30 days. There's also $100 if you direct deposit like above 100 or something, or 150. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll open it up and go for it. Why not? After further reading, it's a secured card that will report as a new trade line. So you get $200 for opening up a new trade line account. I've done this before for what account was that? Let me see if I can find it. Current offered the same thing. I don't think there was a sign-up bonus for it, but I just wanted the card. And it's showing on my credit report, even though the card's now closed, but it showed as a new card. I don't think I have that in my tracker, but now the Step card will also show as a new card, taking up a 524 slot. So keep that in mind. Also to keep in mind, this is issued by Evolve, so another bank partnering with Evolve. So also keep that in mind. Also, the terms aren't really stated, but you have to do a $20 of spend on the card, which don't make it super clear. So you have to use the card, which will definitely cause it to report. And they offer a metal card, which is $50, and it has like a monthly subscription of $5, but it's waived the first month. So I'm going to get the card just so I can have the metal card, get the image, and then cancel it. Now I have the physical black card, but I'm able to purchase these things because of the Patreon. So shout out to the Patreon. Thank you all for supporting and feeding my addiction to getting these cards. Next, Dr. Credit reported that American Express was sending out some emails indicating that the new Aspire card is earning a new 7X category for gas and supermarkets, but it turns out that it looks like it was in an error. They said that the 7X is eligible for restaurants, supermarkets, and gas. Before, I think it was just gas. And then they added restaurants, supermarkets, but the FAQs didn't state that, and I don't think this was actually meant to be a benefit, so sad. Next, just briefly, the IRS announced that their interest rates are remaining the same. So if you overpay your taxes, you accrue interest on the overpayment. And it looks like the overpayment and underpayment rates for the federal short term is for 3%, 3 percentage points, and they're still doing that. So it's remaining the same. Next, there was a post by Miles Ernenburn that was stepping back, who's paying and what are they watching. This is specifically like for a deal, whether it be certain cash back or certain loopholes, thinking about who exactly is paying that and who could be noticing it. Like if you're doing some kind of loop that's earning you $100 a day, who exactly is forking that bill? And thinking about that party that's forking that bill, will they notice this? Like the only way this is noticed, like there's normally not system flags. It's normally manually. People have dashboards, and there'll be like a discrepancy in one of their points that would make them look into it. Is what you're doing going to show up on someone's dashboard and make them notice it and either shut you down or close the loophole? So just a good thought experiment. Always keep that in mind with these probing and kind of loophole-y transactions or offers that you're taking advantage of. Next, there's a targeted Cash App bonus to get $300 when you make a direct deposit. It's showing in-app for some under like the search tab, but most people aren't getting this. It's offering you a $300 bonus when you receive a direct deposit, $300 or more in September and October. You have to activate it in the app. I haven't seen it, but if you see it, that's pretty free money. Again, Dr. Credit is reporting that some checks are being sent out to some American Express Business Platinum card members for like $10 to $30. Some users on Reddit reporting that they're getting like $10 checks that were owed to them by American Express Business card holders. Apparently, this is for when the $10 wireless credit was not paid out to those, was not paid out to some, and they're paying out interest on that. Some speculate that it had to do with the credits not posting for Google Fi purchases, since that did change, but maybe they stopped crediting it earlier than the notice came out for it, so they're paying it with interest. So keep an eye out in your mail and see if you get that. Next, I saw a post on our churning subreddit that someone reached out to Robinhood support and got word from them that there are a list of states that have restricted access to the Robinhood Gold Card, which I thought was super interesting. So those states include Georgia, Massachusetts, Maryland, Michigan, Nebraska, New Hampshire, New Jersey, South Dakota, and Vermont. I thought New York was one of these, but I guess New York is not. So I live in Massachusetts and also have a second residence in New Jersey, or at least I claim I do. So that makes sense why I'm not targeted for this. So if you're one of these states, you're just literally ineligible for the card. And there's probably some laws in that state that don't want to worry about, so they just carve out those states entirely. So if you're banking on getting that card and you're in one of those states, you're out of luck. Also reported on Reddit, the Verizon Visa, which offers, I think, like 4% back on groceries and gas, and they're upping that to 4% back on groceries, gas, and dining, and all Verizon purchases, Verizon device purchases, 1% on your Verizon bill and everything else. But now that card was previously only available for those that have Verizon Wireless, but now it's also available for those that just have Verizon Files. So if you're heavy in the Verizon ecosystem, it's nice. You do get cash back in Verizon bucks, so keep that in mind, which can be kind of hard to use if you're not heavy in Verizon, but it's a pretty great card otherwise. No fee. It was a metal card. I don't know if it's metal anymore. And great cashback categories. I also wanted to report that I got a notification from, I forgot who sent it. I think it was Chase. Like I have a bunch of credit monitoring things through different banks that I have, and one of them said there was a change to my Equifax credit report, and I logged in and saw that my Curve card reported as closed on August 25th. So that's been closed for a little while now, actually, but it finally is showing it's closed October 25th. On August 25th, excuse me, on my Equifax report. So I guess close enough loose ends there. Man, we got a lot to cover here. I might have another like half hour, so strap in. This one's the next one. Is it? Wait a minute. No, the next one. So I've talked about this before, but I was involved in the Voyager collapse, which is like a crypto. What's their term? A crypto wallet exchange, crypto exchange that went under. I had on July 1st, they froze $5,381 of mine. $5,333.13 were in USD. I had 0.02 Bitcoin. This was in last year, July. It was froze, July 1st, 2023. April 10th of 2024, they paid out about $2,000 from the bankruptcy filing. And then on July 31st, they paid out an additional $1,800. So in total, they paid out 30% of my initial investment, 70% of my initial investment, which is way more than I thought would actually come from it. I already wrote off that as not coming back, so it's nice that I got most of it back. 70% is pretty great. It's a pretty big majority. So I have an outstanding $1,614.41 missing. They did say in the payment that there's potentially one more coming, which could return all of what I'm owed, which would be fantastic. My mom also, I suggested her signing up for this, which I won't ever make a suggestion like that to her again because she references it pretty frequently that I lost her money. But she also got these repayments, and hopefully they pay it all out, which would be very nice. Next, Dr. Credit reported that Capital One is increasing their lounge fees for non-card members from $65 to $90. Dr. Credit seems to think this is like not worthy of note, but I've seen a lot of people go in and pay out of pocket for lounge access. Like, I think people don't travel often, and they're like, oh, I'm traveling, let me just spend whatever, it doesn't matter. So they're willing to spend extra to go into these lounges, and this will impact some people. I'm curious to see if people stop going in because of it. I mean, it's not that big of a fee, but I've seen like families of like 3 going in. I can't imagine people spending $270 to go sit in a Capital One lounge and get some free drinks and some nice seating, but I guess we'll see. Next, hat tip to Cleed for this one. Dr. Credit did eventually post it, but I saw it from him first. The PayPal debit card is getting revamped, which I do have. I got it for the card image a while ago, and it's just been locked ever since. But they're now upgrading to have 5% categories. So you can get up to 5% cash back, up to $1,000 per month in spend. The card has no fees, and the categories include grocery, dining, gas, clothing, health, and beauty. So, I mean, this is better than City Custom Cash for the categories that overlap there. That's only $500 a month. This is $1,000 per month. This could be the unsung hero for gas as well, because I've seen places offer, there's usually a cash and credit price, and I always use my 5% credit card. I have 2 of them, the grandfather Ducks Unlimited from FNBO and the, I guess, sort of grandfathered for out of footprint Redstone Federal Credit Union that earns 5% back on gas. But those are credit cards, and often pumps charge more for credit than cash. And also, in addition to that, some pumps charge the same price for cash or debit because debit rails are cheaper than credit rails. So if you have a local one like that, you can get 5% on gas on this debit card and get the debit price, which would be great. And this makes me think of like other unsung, little-known 5% cashback cards. One of them was the Ducks Limited card, which is now grandfathered, and I think it's now like 1.5% on all purchases. But I shared a link in the show notes to Dr. Credit's blog post for best credit cards for ... and there's a bunch of 5% cards in there. There's some little-known ones, some geo-locked ones. So take a look if you have some idle time for some reading. But this PayPal card is super interesting. It is a debit card, so keep in mind you don't get the purchase protections that credit cards do, but it's a fantastic offering. I mean, if you're willing to use PayPal debit card, you get some pretty decent benefits. Next, the Capital One Venture sign-up bonus is the increased one is ending on September 9th. So right now, the limited time offer is 75,000 points as well as a $250 travel credit when you spend $4,000 in purchase, $4,000 in the first 3 months for the 75,000 points, and then $250 in the portal for your first year. Pretty great bonus. See if you're pre-qualified and apply for it. The fee does have the card does come with a $95 fee. It does come with lounge access. I don't know if it comes with Priority Pass, and I'm pretty sure it gets you into Capital One lounges, but it comes with 2x everywhere, 5x on hotels, and rental cars through Capital One portal, and Visa Signature benefits. The best offer was 100,000 points, but the $250 credit on the portal might be more beneficial to you than the additional 25,000 miles. Next, I saw a thread on our churning about Built, and there's now a new benefit to earn 1 Built point on every dollar spent at Walgreens, and it specifically calls out gift cards, but people are curious to see if it'll work on that. And then a user by the name of SammyPH200 shared that in an interview, a Built representative, I don't know who it was, I don't remember. I did watch the interview though. Let's see, is this guy here? Who is this guy? The CEO. He said that they're talking about FSA transactions, and they want to also target that as an opportunity space to make it easier for people to put their FSA eligible transaction on their Built card and then get it automatically reimbursed through their FSA. And he said in that they would get transactional data so that they would automatically know if the purchase was FSA eligible or not. The only way to do that I'm aware of is to get level 3 data. If you don't know what that is, credit cards have different levels of data. Level 1 data is just the merchant DBA name, the zip code, and the transaction amount. Level 2 comes with sales tax information, the merchant zip, tax ID, the merchant minority code, the merchant state code. Most places just give level 2 data, but some places give level 3. And I think American Express is the only one that I know of that their own network always does level 3 data. So they have awareness to the item product code, the item commodity code, the description, the quantity, the unit of measure, the extended amount. So there's a lot more data there. So they're able to see if you purchase a gift card. So if Built is reporting that they have this, maybe it's a tie-in with Walgreens. Maybe you link your Walgreens account and they get data from your Walgreens membership account that knows what's on your receipt. Or maybe they are getting level 3 data. I'm not sure, but I figured I'd call that out and keep that in mind. Next, I saw on our credit cards, there was a post on those with banking jobs, what card do you use? And someone reported that Bank of America employees get automatically the platinum tier perks, which is the 50% boost to credit card rewards and all the other boosts just by working there. That's the only bank that I know that gives benefits like that to their customer or their employees, which is nice to hear. I figured I'd just report that. I think I've talked about that before, but it was nice to see at least someone quoting that is still happening for them. Next, Dr. Credit reported on the Hawaii State Federal Credit Union card. It's only available in Hawaii. The Always Cash Visa card earns 2.5% cash back on your first 5,000 purchases every month, and then 1.25% cash back on everything else. No fees, no foreign transaction fees, and no annual fee. There's no sign-up bonus either, but 2.5% cash back is pretty great if you're in Hawaii. That's a pretty awesome card. Also, I need that card image. If anyone has it, hit me up. Next, I was reading our churning, and someone reported that the 12 status is back, which I didn't really know what this was, but it is a promotion with the Eagles. I think it's the Eagles. Washington. Who is this? It's association with the NFL. Let me pause and see which football team this is. Seattle Seahawks, not the Eagles. Promotion associated with the Seahawks, where every yard they earn in the season, like their offense gains, you get that in miles in your Delta account. You have to be a Washington resident. But from what I see, they just check zip code, and there's not really verification involved with that. So if you have a zip code in Seattle that you can claim, maybe you live there for a little bit for the summer, then you can get some free miles. Take that how you will. Be careful. Always could get shut down. Next, it's expired now. There was an Alliant credit union bonus, specifically through Rakuten. They were offering, there's a Doctor of Credit post for it, but it's over now. It was up to $200, but when I did it was $100. So it was $100 for opening up a CD for $1,000, and you can do the minimum of 3 months CD. So you have to hold the CD, keep it open for 60 days, and then you get paid out in Rakuten points. They also have one for checking, which just required a $200 deposit, and the same thing for the savings, which also required a $200 deposit. And I saw through a comment on our churning that some people were claiming that you can open up the savings through Rakuten, then the checking through Rakuten, and then the certified deposit through Rakuten. You can get all three. So I went through and I did it one night at midnight, apparently, and all the transactions came through. I got $300 cash back, $100 for each. So if this pops up again for all three, you can do savings, checking, and CD, and it works fine. Maybe other ways work first. I think you have to do the bankings first, like either checking or savings and then the CD. So keep that in mind. But I mean, that's pretty great. And I didn't want to do a deal alert for that because I wasn't sure if it would work. And I didn't want a bunch of people opening it and then not getting the benefits or not getting the bonus payout. Next, I saw this post on our credit card, which I thought was just fun, little breath of fresh air. Someone posted their former like tiny credit cards. So apparently credit cards like maybe back in the early mid 2000s were offering a small version of the credit card that you can put on your keychain. Like I remember back in 2000s time, 2010s, early 2000s, late 2000s, so many places would give like the little key ring cards, like CVS would give it, your gym would give it, even though I'd never want to carry this damn thing around. Essentially a gym card that goes on your keychain. But apparently there was one for credit cards. It just had the mag strip on it, but it was a cool offering. You could always carry it with you. It no longer is being offered. And the Reddit user said that they asked Bank of America, the specifically Bank of America card that had it, if they're reissuing them, and they said no, they're not doing that. And I'm obviously not doing that, but I just thought it was cool seeing that. That's not a card that I have. And someone in the comments said that once sold on eBay for $40, credit card collecting is a thing. And oh, it definitely is. I am one of those weirdos. All right, next, there was a Lily Bank $300 business checking bonus. And I wanted to go for this, but I'm ineligible because I had a personal account with Lily, and you can't have received any offer prior, from what I understand. They said you have to be eligible. You're not eligible if you have applied for a Lily account through one of the following websites. Or no, you are eligible if you apply through one of the following websites, NerdWallet or Best Money. So I tried to log in I tried to sign up for the business account, and it said, oh, you already have an account, please log in. But that was my former personal one that's now closed, so I didn't go through with it. But it seems like pretty easy. All you have to do is deposit $5,000 within 30 days, keep it for 60 days, and make 5 qualifying transactions on your debit card. So if you have a business, that seems pretty easy. Go for it. There was, did I not open this one? Where's this? I don't think I opened this one. Next, there were some changes to the Rocket Visa signature card. The card now added a $200 sign-up bonus when you spend $3,000, and they removed the $95 annual fee. More information about the card: they offer 5% cash back on spend towards a new home. So, like, whatever it costs to close for your home, and 2% back towards your mortgage balance. But that requires you to have a Rocket mortgage, so keep that in mind. But I figured I'd call that out. Next, there was a post from a little while ago from Dr. Credit about how Staples is no longer carrying Amazon gift cards. And recently, there was a report from timesunion.com that states this wasn't just Amazon, but New York statewide. Part of the test was by Amazon to see, quote, how and where customers purchase Amazon gift cards. So cards will apparently be sold again in early October, but I remember they were fully removed from the shelves for a while. So I'm guessing they're trying to see how that impacts Amazon purchasing for gift cards. So like if you remove them entirely from the supply at Staples in New York, and then month to month before and after that happened, you can check to see if the overall gift card purchasing remains the same, goes down, goes up, to see if those people find alternatives or if they were solely getting it through Staples. Interesting. I'm curious to see what the results for that were, but I'm sure that won't ever be publicized anywhere. Next, this is a post that's definitely a little old. This was 25 days ago. But someone posted on our credit cards, what would be your next card that you're planning to get? What card in particular? Someone said, by the name of Cassis the Ancient, said, the rumored Capital One Arrival card. I hope it focuses on transit so I can get 3% back on gas and tolls. Someone said, what was the rumor on the Arrive? And it was basically just that Capital One filed trademarks for the word arrive on, they just filed for the trademark. And with the rumor of new cards coming out, they're putting two and two together, like maybe a new Arrive card would come, and then just the name Arrive sounds like transit. So I'm curious to see what that comes of it. And I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop if something does come out. And there is a YouTube link in the comments from Cassis the Ancient about the filing. So if you want to read that, it's in the show notes as well. All right, we're getting to the bottom of it now. Some travel booking that I booked. So I'll have another travel episode coming up probably mid-October. I booked a flight to California. So I'm flying from Boston to LAX, taking a rental car with National. I have executive status through my American Express Platinum. Actually, my first time using that, so I'm curious to see what the executive experience is like. If you purchase mid-size, you get upgraded to the executive lot, and you just pick a car. So I'm really curious to see what that's like. So I have to rent the car there for a week, and then we fly out of SFL. The Boston LAX flight I booked through the Bank of America portal for 20% off with points, and that was pretty easy. I just looked for the flight on Google Flights, then I looked to see if it was offered for the same price on the portal, which it was, and I booked it there for 20% off. But my flight from San Francisco back to Boston was on the portal, but was more expensive. So I booked that with American Airlines gift cards, which I have from the travel credit from the card anyway. One thing to note, if you do that, if you have the Premium Rewards Elite card, I had a friend recently try and purchase $300 worth of American Express or American Airlines gift cards to trigger that $300 travel incidental credit, but it only works in, at least from what I'm aware of, $100 intervals. So he purchased one $300 gift card, which did not trigger the bonus. So purchase them in $100 increments. I need to report that on Dr. Credit so people are aware, but keep that in mind. And then for hotels, I haven't booked all the hotels. I'm thinking we'll probably spend 2 nights in LA, drive the Pacific Coast Highway, do some random stops, stay at like a motel or something, just kind of rough it and experience California. I've never been out there before. So if you have any recommendations, definitely want to hear it, share it on the Discord or DM me or email me or whatever. And then I booked a hotel on the American Express portal because they have the $200, since I have the Platinum card, you have a $200 credit towards a minimum of 2 night stay at a Hotel Collections hotel. And in San Fran, there was a pretty decently priced hotel in there. I think it was like $180 a night. And with the $200 credit, it came out to be a good deal. So I basically got half off of it, and I booked through the portal for 5x back. The Bank of America portal was pretty easy and straightforward. It was my first time using it. They only offer certain airlines, and sometimes the prices aren't reflected there. Sometimes I can't find the same flight, but in one of them I at least did, and I was able to use, I think, like 30,000 points or something, which was nice. Next, there is a $400 city bonus for the checking account. So it requires you to deposit $10,000 within 45 days. And then for the next 45 days, maintain that $10,000, and then you'll get $400. So using Cashback Cowboys calculator, so shout out to them, that comes out to just under 30% effective APY, because you don't have to deposit it for the first 45 days, just before the 45th day hits. So if I deposit it 1 day prior, that would be 46 days for the money to be deposited. It's $10,000, $400 sign-up bonus with no interest rate. That is an effective APY of almost 32%. So I went for that. I have $10K of free cash flow that I can lock up for 45 days. So I just set a reminder to initiate a transfer closer to that 45 days, and I'll get that bonus. Nice. All right, we have a new credit card coming out that's actually pretty exciting from US Bank. It's called the Smartly Visa Signature Card. You can earn up to 4% cash back on this card, which would be leading in the industry for straight cash back on general purchases. So the card works as follows. You earn 2% back on all purchases. You can earn up to an additional 2% cash back by doing the following. You can earn 2.5% total cash back if you have a qualifying balance of $5,000 to $50,000, an additional 3% back in additional cash back if you have $50,000 to $100K, and then a total 4% cash back if you have over $100K. So almost identical to Bank of America's preferred rewards with their 3 tiers, except theirs is a maximum of 2.625% cash back on all purchases using some of their cards. This is exciting, but there are some caveats. You can use a brokerage account to have these deposits met, but there's a $50 fee that's associated with their brokerage. And also, that fee can be waived under certain conditions. You have to have $250,000 with them to get that waived. I'm curious to see if they even offer an IRA. They do offer an IRA, so hopefully that would count. But there are some niche use cases for this. So there's some good stuff in the Dr. Credit comments, and I'll read one of them from JM. With $100K in US Bank self-directed, which has a $50 annual fee, the break-even point for this card in comparison to the Bank of America card, which earns 2.65%, would be $3,623 per year. If you spend more than $3,623 per year, this card would earn higher than the UCR, excluding sign-up bonuses. If you throw in the Bank of America customized cash rewards, however, that's another factor to consider because you can get 5.25% on that card, and obviously 5.25% is higher than 4%. Some other analysis from Bleak Choo Choo on our Discord. They shared that they did the math, and the break-even point is about half of your spend would need to be on uncategorized, which would be the 2.65% bucket in order for the card to be worth it. In addition, another user shared on Dr. Credit by the name of Wander that to get the rate on the savings account, you need to put $25,000 in the otherwise in there. Otherwise, from $5,000 to $25,000, only 3% return on the savings, costing a minimum of $60 compared to competitive high yield savings accounts. So you can get 3% on your cash balance at US Bank. You can get a free checking if you have another US Bank card. And to get 3% back or above, you need $50,000 with them, which would also get 4.1% on savings. So if you already have another US Bank card, get a free checking, put $5,000 into that, which will get you a savings, hold on. I am really butchering this. If you already have another US Bank card, get a free checking account, put $5,000 into there, which will get you're paying $60 for a 2.5% back card. It starts to make sense if you organically have over $25,000 in the account, though. So if you aren't in the footprint, if you want to make US Bank a big hub for you, this card could make sense. If you want to just get a 2.5% cashback card, you can put $5,000 into basically no interest account, which will cost you about $60 per year in, I think, potential for interest elsewhere with that $60 or with that $5,000. So there's an interesting cost analysis going on there. Also, Auto on Dr. Credit comments shared. I was getting excited because it looks like you can just hold some of the self-directed funds to qualify, but there's a big downside that applies to many doctor credit users. To get the full relationship bonus, you need to hold a checking account. But then that means you cannot churn the $400, $500 bonuses on the checking account every year. You would need a pretty good chunk of non-category spend and non-silent bonus spend to overcome the loss of the churnable $400, $500 every year. I don't personally churn US Bank, as I've discussed. I'm not in their footprint, and I haven't gone through the trouble of getting in their footprint. But that's a great call out too. If you do churn US Bank's bonuses, you won't be able to do that because you have to hold the account. You can't close it and then just keep opening and closing it. Definitely, this card's really good as a no-brainer card. If you can qualify for the 4% and you can get the fee waived, 4% on everything, I mean, I'd probably stop juggling, to be honest with you. I'd probably just use that card everywhere. It'd make life so much simpler for me. It's a perfect P2 card. Someone who really doesn't want to worry about it, just wants to put one card down and always earn the best. This is perfect for it. It's always great to see new cards like this. There's a wait list for this that I've signed up for. US Bank is pretty stingy, and I doubt they'd approve me, but we'll see what happens. Just a call out next. Chase.com/mybonus has some refreshes. Nothing there for me, but take a look yourself. All right, we have a few bullets left here. This is insane. This is getting on an hour and 20 minutes here. All right, I received a letter in the mail from, this is my favorite things to cover, from the Atlantic Federal Credit Union, which is a small geo-restricted credit union in New Jersey. They were offering something called Kasasa accounts, which are accounts that offer good benefits with certain requirements. My account was a 5% cash back on debit card purchases, up to $200 in spend per month, so up to $10 per month, which required a direct deposit, e-statements turned on, and 12 transactions in the month. Every month I would charge 12 transactions. Normally, like if I pay on PayPal, I can do a split transaction. I'll just toss $1 on this card. And then any charge I know will be out of category spend, I would always put on this card up to $200, and I'd get free $10 every month. And I've tracked it in the past, and I normally max it out every year. So $120 a year I got from this card, which was great. I love this card. And I have a great opinion of the Atlantic Federal Credit Union. They always pick up the phone. They're a small credit union. They offer nice accounts. Their savings accounts also offer great interest. So I've always had a positive opinion. And this was really sad to see this notice coming in the mail that they're closing my account. They say, thank you for your membership at the Atlantic Federal Credit Union. We're writing to inform you of upcoming changes to your Kasasa account. This came in the mail to me on August 20th. Effective October 2024, so a month's notice, the Atlantic Federal Credit Union will no longer be offering Kasasa accounts. At that time, Kasasa Cash and Cash Back account, there's a couple different flavors, will automatically become Ultra checking accounts. And Kasasa Cash Saver, Cash Back Saver automatically will become Kickstart savings accounts. Please see the enclosed Truth in Savings disclosure for full details in the account. If you have any information, if you need additional information, please call us. So I was like, all right, let me look at the Truth in Savings disclosures. If you noticed, nowhere in this verbiage did they say anything about fees. The Kasasa accounts have no fees, no minimum. You just have a requirement to get the additional benefits, but if you don't meet them, no harm, no foul, you get no fees. These new accounts that are transitioning to you two, are not the same. So looking at the savings offerings, they say they're putting you on a Kickstart savings. There is a minimum of $100 service fee, $100 in the account to miss a service fee, and then the Ultra checking account, which is on the back of the next form, has a minimum of $1,000. So you went from an account that has no fees whatsoever on any balance to a savings account that requires a $100 minimum to avoid a fee, and a checking account that requires a $1,000 minimum to offset the fee. Meanwhile, there's another checking account that they offer, a smart checking, that only has a $100 minimum to avoid the service fee. Why they would choose the more premium one, the Ultra checking? I mean, the Ultra checking does earn interest up to, if you have up to $10,000, they'll pay out 4.2% interest, but there's a $1,000 minimum fee here. They don't call it out in the verbiage. They tell you to read the Truth in Savings, which is just a big table that I'm sure no one's reading. Also, it just says minimum to avoid the service fee. They don't state what the service fee is. Going to the fee schedule that's on their website, which they don't include in this mailer. I've read through every single bit. They later say on the form that they did mail me, they say fees. See separate schedule of fees and charges for a listing of account fees, charges applicable to your account, which they don't include. So you then have to go out of your way to go find their fee schedule. The service fee for the Ultra Checking is $15 a month if you're under $1,000. So you went from an account that offers no fees whatsoever and benefits for debit card cash back to an account that has $1,000 minimum and $15 service fee, and you don't even bother to call that out in the verbiage of your important updates at Kasasa account. That left just a really bad taste in my mouth. Like it's lack of clarity, and it's borderlines on deceptive, in my opinion, that they would do this. I had a great opinion on them, and after this, I'm sure there'll be a bunch of customers that are impacted by this. Like, Kasasa accounts are normally targeted for members who want to avoid fees but still want benefits. And now they're upgrading them automatically to this Ultra Checking account that comes with a $15 fee if you have less than $1,000. I know that some people aren't going to have that. I've never had over $1,000 in the account. I always kept around $200 just for debit card transactions. So if I didn't read through all this nonsense and then go look at the fee schedule on their website, I would have never known about this. I would have never known what the service fee is. They say there is one. They don't tell you what it is. Just left a bad taste in my mouth. I called them up, and you do have the option to choose a different account to transition to or close the account, obviously, but not calling it out in the mailer is a big no-no, in my opinion. It shows you don't have regard for your customers, or there's a disconnect or something. Was not happy to see that. And then sort of related to this, I got a bank account bonus with Bank Hometown, which is like a bank in Massachusetts. And I met the bonus requirements, and I wanted to close the account. And I secure messaged them, and they said, we can't close your account over the phone or through secure message. You have to either come into branch, which I'm not near a branch, or mail a notarized letter requesting your account to be closed. I'm not doing that. I'll probably just bring my account balance to zero and then hope they close it out and just not pay any fees. But like, these banks, man, I don't get it. It's enough ranting for now. Let's move on. Only a few things left here. We have, if you haven't done a Discover Savings account bonus yet, or don't have one currently open, I think you can churn this one. Offer not available for existing or prior Discover customers. So no. But if you've never had one, there is a bonus for $150 or $200 when you deposit $15,000 or $25,000 respectively. I believe the trick of cumulative deposits still works. So like you can deposit $5,000, withdraw it, deposit $5,000, withdraw it, up to $25,000 total deposits, and that will trigger it, and they pay out super quickly. So if you haven't done this, definitely go for it. Next, the DOT investigates airline loyalty programs, including American Airlines, Delta Airlines, Southwest, and United, for devaluation of earned rewards, hidden and dynamic pricing, extra fees, and reduction in competitive competition and choices. This, to me, only bodes well. I don't see any of these airlines devaluing while they're having a probe out against them. I remember I discussed some CFPB discussions or some hearings that they've had in the past, specifically regarding loyalty programs. So it's good to see them launching the probe, and we'll see what comes of it. All right, final two things here. Just wanted to call out that my SoFi credit card, I had a 0% interest for like 15 months, I think, and I've been floating like $1,000 over that for a while now. And that's coming to an end, so I have to pay off that balance. But I just want to call out that if you have a tracker somewhere for yourself that tracks your like monthly cash flow and your monthly cash balance, make sure you subtract the 0% balances, because that's a loan that you have out that you have to pay off. So just make sure you're keeping track of it somewhere so you don't think you have more money than you really do. And then finally, my Join Save maturity came out, so I wanted to give some details on how that paid out. So my initial $1,000 investment, which is FDIC insured, I used a referral link when I signed up, and they got me an additional $5,000 in matched investments for that 1K investment. So I put in 1K, they invested 6K for me. You get the gains of the 6K minus their fees. That alone, the 1K and 5K, earned over a year $130.18 or 12% increase. So that's pretty great for $1,000 investment. Return on investment in a year is 13%. And that's with the fees reduced. I also had additional sign-up or additional referrals that came through. I had 5 total. 3 of them are paying out soon. The 3 that are paying out soon earned $168.81 total in gains. So that just makes it even better. So that comes out to around $300 for my 1K investment with these referrals. I have 2 additional bonuses that are paying out, 2 additional referral bonuses and 1 birthday bonus. On your birthday, give you like $1,000 invested on your behalf. Those are pending and at $47 in gains. So my takeaways for this is if Join Save does a bonus again, like if they say deposit $5,000, get $25,000 match, or deposit $1,000, get $5,000 match for a year, I would absolutely do it. I'd pick their most aggressive option and just see what happens. Let them invest. Their fees don't seem to be too much. At least I don't know how much I really did earn, but what I got out of it is great for my $1,000 investment. So I co-sign on Save. There should be a referral link somewhere from me. I'll put it in the show notes. If you're interested, definitely sign up. I think it's worth it. Anyway, that's it for today. This was a really lengthy, let me put my referral link. This is a really lengthy episode. My throat is hoarse from talking for an hour and a half. So I'm going to hop off here. I hope you all found this entertaining. Look out for the polls on Patreon as well as the show notes. I hope you have a wonderful, whatever day is coming out. I'm recording this on Saturday, but I want to go get some stuff done, and I have to do a little editing to get this out there, so maybe this will go up Sunday, but hopefully this holds you over for a little while. A lot of content in here. Thanks for supporting. Thanks as always, and I'll talk to you later. Enjoy this outro from Sweaty Lemon. Peace, y'all. Quick addendum. I had a thought. I'm going to leave it in there, but I don't think Save is worth it. I think if you're risk averse and would rather not just dump your money in S&P 500 because it's not FDIC insured, then use Save, because S&P 500 over the last year, in the same time that I had the money in Save, went up 21.5%, while Save went up with just the 1 in 5 match 13%. So if you're super risk averse, not a bad choice. But if you just are okay with dumping an S&P 500, it'll outpace it. All right, that's it for me. Thanks. Too much long. Bye.